personal gain, and he fought Western land interests and their political hatchet men for years, out of no motive but to see truth and science triumph, and the greatest good come to the greatest number over the greatest period of time, according to the American Gospels. More clearly than most of his contemporaries, he demonstrated that fundamental affinity between democracy and science that made America after the Civil War, in spite of scandal and graft and unprecedented venality, one of the exciting and climactic chapters of history, both intellectual and social. He was one of those who, in his education and in his confirmed beliefs, seemed the culmination of an American type, though his own family arrived in America barely in time for him to be born here. Also, he was one of the illustrious obscure who, within the framework of government science, achieved unusual power. He did much solid good because he combined with personal probity an ability to deal with politicians. And if he was more optimistic about the future of America and the world than is now fashionable, a review of his career reveals that a large amount of his work, both for science and for democracy, has not only lasted, but has generated more of the same. We have gone a good long way toward his principal recommendations with regard to the West. 3 generations after some of those plans were first proposed, they seem of an extraordinary prescience. All of which is to say that, though someone like Clarence King may warrant a biography because of his personality, his wit, the brilliance of his conversation, and the glitter of his circle, Powell's effect upon his country was that of an agent, or even of an agency. I have tried to treat him accordingly. In the preparation of this biography, I have benefited from the help and advice of scores of individuals and organizations. Some of the work has been done under grants from the Milton Fund of Harvard University, the Henry E. Huntington Library and Art Gallery, and the John Simon Guggenheim Memorial Foundation. The American Philosophical Society has kindly helped with microfilm problems. Among librarians, I have yet to find a surly or unhelpful individual. I think librarians will inherit the earth. And the list of those to whom I owe a debt of gratitude is appended here, not to form a cordon through which a reader has to break to get at Powell, but as an inducement. If such as these have been interested in him and his work, he must be worthy of attention. For kindness and assistance of every sort, I am especially grateful to Bernard DeVoto of Cambridge, Massachusetts, Henry Nash Smith of the University of California, Dale L. Morgan of Salt Lake City, Francis Farquhar, George R. Stewart, Otis Marston, and Paul Taylor of Berkeley, California, William Culp Dara of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, Lindley Morris of Bloomington, Illinois, Charles Kelly of Fruita, Utah, J.C. Bryant, Superintendent of the Grand Canyon National Park, the late Norman Nevels of Mexican Hat, Utah, Professor Robert Taft of the University of Kansas, Beaumont Newhall of Eastman House, Rochester, New York, Ansel Adams of San Francisco, Paul and Francis Judge of Grand Teton National Park, Wyoming, Struthers and Catherine Burt of Three Rivers Ranch, Moran, Wyoming, Louise Peffer of the Stanford Food Research Institute, J.O. Kilmartin, Chief of the Map Information Service of the United States Geological Survey, Matthew Sterling, Paul Oser, and Miss May Tucker of the Bureau of American Ethnology, Professors Ben Page, J.E. Williams, and the late Bailey Willis of Stanford University, and V.L. Vanderhoof, formerly of Stanford, Leroy Hafen of the Colorado Historical Society, and Marguerite Sinclair of the Utah State Historical Society, Thomas Manning of Yale University, and, by no means least, the staffs of the libraries where I have had the pleasure of working: Widener Library of Harvard University, Bancroft Library, University of California, the Stanford University Library, and the Branner Geological Library, Stanford University, the Henry E. Huntington Library, the National Archives, the United States Geological Survey, and the Bureau of American Ethnology in Washington, the New York Public Library, and the McLean County Historical Society of Bloomington, Illinois.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.